Today, we are talking about the secret sauce in advanced conversational hypnosis that helps our clients to have amazingly fast breakthroughs and really going from working with clients for multiple calls or sessions and just condensing it to one powerful session. And so today we are talking about one of the concepts that we use, and it's actually talked about in the 2 day training extensively. Like that is what we focused on. And this concept is unconscious moments, which is really at the root of it, the subconscious mind in action, the unconscious mind in action. As you know, the unconscious mind communicates very differently with the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the logical mind, knows language, can talk in full sentences. It's more of the high functioning, executive functioning part of our brains. Whereas the subconscious is pretty much the other part of our brains who really doesn't talk in our regular language. And it's more primal, and our drivers, right? It's really just to for the absolutely most simple description of it, anything that we're not really conscious of. Like, for example, we're not conscious of our heart rate, right? We cannot control our heart rate and say, okay, beat faster, beat slower. We can influence it, but we can't actually tell it what to do. And it's just running in the background. Anything that's running in the background is an unconscious process, something that you're not always aware of. So really, that's pretty much the unconscious mind in a nutshell. And unconscious moments are things that we see within our clients that are signs and clues as to their unconscious mind communicating and responding to the questions that we ask them. So, of course, this is conversational hypnosis, so we don't do the traditional relaxation techniques. We use conversation and ask our client questions with regards to their problem. And then as we ask them questions, we notice these unconscious moments. So there are two types of unconscious moments. The first one are visual cues, and second are auditory cues. So first, I'll start off with the visual cues. So visual cues are obviously things that you can visibly see with your clients. And the first thing is their eyes. You can see your client's eyes and what their eyes are doing, right? Are they blinking rapidly? Are you seeing some REM going on in their eyes? Eyes open or eyes closed. I've seen it happen both. And or are they just not blinking? Are they having moments when you're talking to each other where they're barely blinking? Those are things that you want to notice, right? Are they staring off in space, or are they staring specifically at an object in their environment, and they're just so like entranced, right? With that object. Or are they just so focused on you, on their conversation, that they're just staring at the screen? Or if you're seeing clients in person, like they're just really just staring at you. Their complete attention is on you and staring at you. So those are the things that you want to notice. Second is their posture and their body language. Are they completely hunched? Are they like completely like straight up? Are they shifting, right? What is their body language doing? What are they doing with their hands? And like, what are they trying to describe with their hands as they're talking to you and answering your questions? That is an unconscious process, right? And another visual cue that you want to notice is their face, right? And that's why Zoom is so cool, because you can really like magnify your client's face if you spotlight them, right? You can really see what's happening within their face and facial features. Are they kind of like this, where they're very tense in their facial muscles, right? Are they like burrowing like this? They just seem very angry, but they're kind of talking to you. Something's going on with their face. Or is their skin color changing, right? Are they becoming flushed, or are they becoming white as a ghost? Those are things that you want to look for. And then sometimes their lips, right? You can see the changes in their lip color too. Quite fascinating when it happens. And also the visual cues that you can see are automatic movement, right? Are they like just very fidgety? Are like picking things up and dropping it? Are they like Is there some sort of thing that they're doing very frequently? Are they like completely still? Are they just talking to you fidgeting and then they become still and maybe sometimes cataleptic where they're just kind of like, you know, stuck in that cataleptic position? Or are their limbs kind of doing weird things? Those are the things that you want to look for. Quite fascinating again when you really notice them. So those are the visual cues. And after I go through the auditory cues, I will tell you what you want to do with them because of course that's important, right? And so for the auditory cues, obviously these are things that you want to listen for. So the first thing is their voice, right? Is there any changes in the tone, the cadence of their voice, their volume? Are they, the volume or the pitch of their voice when they start answering different questions? Those are the things to think about. How are they expressing themselves and their answers? Are they just verbally like conscious, like is it mostly conscious where they're just kind of like explaining and they're in an excuse mode, or like they're just like rambling on and on and on and on? Or are they using things like stories or metaphors or symbolism? Are they talking in those senses, right? Those are really, really, really key moments. And things to also listen for. And sometimes you can see these as well is emotions, right? Are they talking about feeling certain emotions? Are they talking about feeling certain things? Are they starting to feel them? Are they starting to cry? Are they starting to laugh? Are they starting to get really pissed off, right? Those are the things that you want to look for because that is, a change in their state, and is a sign that their subconscious is really telling you something. And another thing is, the language that they speak. Are they starting to get quite confused when they talk? Like they'll answer your questions and then they just start becoming really, really confused, and then they start talking pretty nonsensical. The things that they're saying don't make complete sense, which means that the conscious mind is shutting off, right? And another thing that you want to look for auditorily, that is the word, right? Are their thoughts? Are they having, or beliefs, right? Are the thoughts aligned with certain beliefs that are conflicting? Are the thoughts that they're having inconclusive, or it doesn't make sense? Or are they a bit irrational? And because that's something that you want to ask them more about, right? Do you see a lot of conflicting thoughts? I want to be up, but I also want to be down at the same time. Those two cannot exist at the same time, right? So questioning that, questioning those things. So when you notice all of those things in a conversation, what you want to do is just to place your client's attention on it. That's it. When, I'll give you an example. For example, you see your client's eyes blinking rapidly, right? I know, or actually, I'll give a different example. For example, your client's eyes are staring up and left, for example, and that's just how they think about the answer to your question. I know in NLP, there's like a certain thing or guide that if a client looks up and left, like that it means something, they're accessing, it's part of their mind. And sure, that can be very useful, but at the same time, that's really too much for you to remember. Like, and then it kind of takes you away from really what's happening. If a client is looking up in space, up and left, their unconscious mind is doing something, right? That's all you need to do, and just place your client's attention on it, or you can keep them there, ask them questions to keep them there, by saying something like, okay, just keep looking, right? Keep looking, or what are you looking at, right? Saying things like that, or repeat the question that you just asked that led them to look up and left, right? So just really, really place their attention on it. And one thing you do not want to do, and really want to avoid this because this messes this up, it really it lengthens the time of your breakthroughs, is assume that X, Y, Z unconscious moment that your client gave you means ABC, right? Like, for example, your client just became really angry when you asked them about their cat that passed away. And so you're concluding that the cat passing away was the exact reason as to why they're procrastinating in their business. Don't assume things like that, because you don't really know. Your job is to ask the client what the connections are. So if you are hinting, or if you have an intuition and say, maybe this cat passing away has something to do with them procrastinating in their business, just ask them that. Don't assume, and say, I think that this cat has something to do with your business. You're procrastinating because you miss your cat, which will have some validity in it. But you saying it isn't as powerful as them putting it together, right? Isn't it more powerful when your clients go, I think my cat passing, I didn't really grieve it that much, and now I'm procrastinating on my business because of it. That is a much more powerful thing than you telling them that, right? It's kind of the same result, but the power and impact in the client's life is going to be much more powerful. So definitely do not assume. Do not lead a client into thinking certain things, or assuming certain things, concluding certain things, because it's not up to you as a coach or hypnotherapist. Ask your clients questions and have them stay within that unconscious moment, because that is really what's going to help them break through. So place their attention on it, just lean back, watch the magic happen, because their minds are incredibly smart. You know that. You have a highly intelligent subconscious mind in front of you. Let it work. It's magic. Just place their attention on it, and the mind will know exactly what needs to happen. It's not up to you. It's up to them. And it's really fascinating when you see this in action. And if you want to see this in action, watch the demo breakthroughs in this channel, because you will definitely see all of these moments in action. And I talked about these unconscious moments a lot, because we focus it on the neck over 2 days in the ACH trainings. If this is something that you are really wanting to learn more about, and are interested in applying to your already amazing client work, then details below with regards to the next ACH training. It's going to be there. And otherwise, apply this concept. Let me know how it goes for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will see you soon.